All right,
Sweet. How
sorry
do I
for
say
that,
your
man.
name, bro?
It's Victor Vico.
Victor?
Yeah, Victor Vico. Like my artist
Vico.
name is like Vico. Yeah,
Vico. Very cool.
yeah,
Nice to meet you, Vico.
yeah, man. I fucking love your stuff, man. And like Dakota Wind, I saw you like collabed with him. Dakota from Earth.
Yeah, we're good friends. He is from an hour away from me.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I knew him before about him before, and it's like crazy that you guys know each other. And I feel like I'm on the same wave. Maybe I don't take so much psychedelics as you, but because I've done some stupid shit on psychedelics, I'm kind of like psychedelically lost. I can say, like I have a hard time like fitting into society after psychedelics. I run around naked and stuff like this. And because like I'm like, what the fuck, bro? like I just had these realizations, about like life and just nature.
Yeah, I
But
get it.
yeah, but what I wanted to talk about with you is like the flow, right? Because you talk a lot about like the flow, right?
Hmm.
And I used to be like, I could say like a Taoist. I used to follow Alan Watts and stuff like this. First time I took some mushrooms, it was like the whole thing about the flow, letting go, like going with the flow basically, and just not attaching. And it felt like another being was like handling the thing, and I was just like witnessing it. And at first it was like kind of cool. It was like, okay, this kind of funny, like the Joker. I was like the Joker, some shit like that. I didn't give any fucks. And and then it started to be like I started like getting naked and like touching, because it was like c- coming out of the comfort zone all the time more, like getting out of your comfort zone, doing crazier and crazy shit.
Mm.
And like all in the flow. Like I was like, basically for me, like the flow, it means like you let go of control. Like you basically do everything that comes to your mind, you do fucking everything, and it like became this like kind of OCD thing, like this kind
Mm.
of like, okay, I gotta do this or I'm not in the flow. I gotta like,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it got kind of crazy. So I'm just wondering what's your view on like the flow and stuff like this, because for me it's kind of dangerous now to go with the flow, because it's like, I got arrested by the police a couple of times. I get aggressive a little bit. Like it's like
Yeah.
kind of too
Well,
crazy.
well, what I would say is like the way I view it is like it's a relationship with that other being you're talking about, like God, the flow, right? It's a
Yeah.
relationship. I'm not just like a puppet that just does whatever like the flow says. It's more along the lines of like I'm in relationship with the flow, and it's about like making, because there's a million different options. There's a million, you could flow a million different directions, but it's about, for me, really dialing in and moving, like using the flow
Yeah, so
to
like a
like very,
river, yeah, like the
very
river, you surf
carefully.
on the river, yeah.
Right, but like using it only when I have a dialed in direction with deep intention that I want to then use
Ah,
the
okay.
wave to ride into, as opposed to just riding down all the rapids. You're bound to get hurt if
Yeah.
you're just riding down all the rapids, but if you're smart about when you can use the wave, you know what I mean? And like in
Okay,
a way it's
okay.
like more dialed in, because like the flow, I feel, respects you more if you can ride with discernment.
Channel it, no, like channel the power into what you
Yeah.
want, no.
But it's got to come from you. Like that's the biggest thing I've learned, is like I've kind of been where you're like talking about. But like that's kind of what I've realized, that it's like everything I've done, the psychedelics, living life, it all just points me back to within myself. It's like, and that's where like it all manifests outward from. Like our reality if we're building our reality, it really needs to start within, and then we build it from the outward instead of just like, let me just chase at the outward thing and then see what happens. It's like,
Yeah.
for me, it's more about like coming into stillness, like finding more stillness is like really a big key. Like the breath work, the meditation, whatever it is, like really just finding the stillness and like moving from that place and then using the momentum of the wave or of the flow.
Okay, so you're directing basically the whole thing, right? Like, because like I feel like I'm meditating, and I used to have this very strongly. Basically, I was like meditating and I felt like a pull, you know? For example, something like pulling me in a direction, or like I see a girl, you know, and it's like pulling me to do something, you know, or like, and it's just it used to be like so strong that I couldn't resist it, basically, you know. It was like I have to do it, you know, because it was like so fucking strong, you know. And I was just like, okay, you know, Alan Watts said like trust the universe, you know. So okay, let's go, bro. And like I ended up like jumping from a cliff on fucking LSD, bro, on like from an 8 meter cliff on the ground, you know, like just because, you know, fucking death doesn't exist, you know, like kind of this
Yeah,
shit, you know, like very like, you know, it gets kind of dangerous when you listen to your mind, you know, everything your mind says. Because I used to be
right,
more psychedelically aware and just like, okay, I'm just observing everything, and then I got like into the thing,
right.
and it
Well, that's
started like,
why that's why I don't I get out of my mind. Like
yeah,
my like life is what I've realized, like about two, we have a gut brain, we have the heart brain, it's all connected. And we
yeah,
spend all of our time in here in our culture, but like the more we can get into the body, that's what's really liberated me in life. And that's where like the deep truth comes from. Like the truth of like your destiny in your DNA, what you're here on earth to do, like that's not going to come from here. You can't think your way your through life. It's too wild. It's too wild. You got to feel your way through it. So that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
like the journey really is about, is like getting into the feeling. And so if I were you, I would get religious about like a deep breath work practice and like getting in cold water and stuff. You just need to get into
yeah,
your
yeah,
body and get out of the head. You know what I mean? Like find ways to get into the body, long barefoot walks in nature. This is kind of stuff I do literally daily to fucking get out of my head.
yeah. So what do you think is like, because for me like ideas and like desires, they come basically from the head, no? I mean, everything comes from the head, in my opinion, no? I mean, like, you know what I mean,
It
like
doesn't have to
desires.
though. It's
Huh?
like it's like the form may come from the head, but the intention comes from the
The heart.
body. You know what I mean? Like the intention, the energy behind
Yeah,
the form that the mind is creating, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So when you talk about the body, it's like, because the body for me, it's like a vehicle, you know. It's like there are two ways, you know. Discipline, you know, it's like mind over matter, you know. So it's like, if you want to achieve something, you have to, like David Goggins, you know, you have to like, you know, fucking beat that fucking body into submission, you know, like to fucking, so it obeys to you, you know. You do 50 push-ups. If you listen to your body, you will collapse, you know, after 30, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I think. But if your mind is strong, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And like the mind is a powerful tool. The problem
yeah,
is that we're not in touch with any part of ourselves other than the mind. You know what I mean? That's why,
yeah,
like, just getting in touch with my body for an hour a day. I mean, that's really like all that's like required, is like, because once
yeah.
you get out of the head for a little bit and you can just be still, then you take that into your whole day. It's an absolute game changer.
So
Taking the time to do that.
it's like basically you are enough in the body, and you just, if something, this is what the stillness you're talking about, right? It's like basically the
Where
body
the
is
mind
alone.
is off, you have a mantra or something
Yeah,
just in a meditative state and the mind is off and you can just let your consciousness rest in the body or wherever else. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
literally
yeah,
move
yeah.
my I imagine having nostrils on my heart space and like
Yeah, I heard you
breathing
talking
in,
about that. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Like man, attaching intention to the breath is so powerful. And if you want, I have my friend Justin Lovato. I don't know if you saw, I just did the podcast with him. He was my most recent podcast guest.
Yeah, I
He's a
haven't seen
breathwork coach and he has an amazing breathwork program. I can email it to you for free
it.
if you
Yeah,
want
the
it.
guy with the eyes like this, he's like an
Yes.
alien. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
you can see because he doesn't blink. No, he's like so like my mom was telling me like people who don't blink they are like completely present. You know, the less you blink, the less you're in your head. You know, because in your head you're like what the you know, but
Yeah.
he's like
Yeah, it's true.
present.
He's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
And if you after this call, DM me your email address and I'll send you his breathwork program.
Okay. I mean, I think I can see on YouTube, you know, for free probably some stuff.
Yeah, but
You know, I'm not.
it's cool to have it's his is really good. And
Yeah.
it's for free. And I'm gonna send it to you for free. So,
Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check it.
bro, it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So how do you know like where do desire come from? You know, because you if you have like a mission in life, you know, do you believe like in a mission in life? You that you have like a mission?
Yeah, I do. That's different than desires, though.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
where does the
like
mission come from?
desires come from the head, and desires come from not the present moment.
From the
Desires
ego,
come
no, like
it's yeah, it's like reaching for something outside of yourself that you think is going to fulfill you. And that's
yeah.
why I was talking about I'm trying to live my life in a way that starts from the deepest inner core and then goes outward instead of reaching outwards to try to fill it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I realize this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is like the problem with capitalistic society in general, like consumptionism, like always reaching outside. And me too, like the things with because I'm diagnosed with OCD, you know, because like I used to have to do things or say things to be calm, you know, to be at
Yeah.
peace, you know. And
Yeah.
that's the same thing. It's not materialistic, but it's an experience that will make you feel at peace, you know. So it's basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah, we have a hard time being with ourselves in our current way of being today, you know? We have
yeah,
a really hard time
exactly.
being still.
But so where does the mission come from? Because like I feel like I have a mission, you know, like when I was on LSD, I feel like I'm Hermes, you know, like the messenger of gods and stuff like this. I've had a lot of like synchronicities with this to with Eden, you know, to bring people back to the Garden of Eden and stuff like this, you know. And that's why I get naked too, you know, and stuff like this because for me it like it goes around like it's like paradise on earth, you know, but maybe paradise on earth is not external, it first starts within, no? So like if
Mm.
it doesn't mean you have to be naked, no, it means because that's you can be naked and still not be at peace and it's like it
Right.
doesn't, you know,
Right.
and
And
like
listen,
be
I
in
love being
prison.
naked. I
Huh?
love being I love
Yeah.
being naked. I love
Yeah,
get I
me
get
too,
naked all
bro.
the
But
time. I get
yeah,
naked
but
all the time. Like
yeah, man, but like the problem is like in our society it's illegal, you know. Like there's a guy, the Naked Rambler. I don't know if you've heard about him. He's like he was like 9 years in prison total because he refused to put on clothes, you know. And first he was like 1 month, then 3 months, and he always refused. And like he went 3 years, and then it added up, you know. And
well,
for
you got to be smart about it.
yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
like
Like yeah,
yeah, I
because
mean like I'm getting naked in a private area, or something, but
yeah, but the thing is like it's activism, you know. It's like basically to
right.
make a change, you know. But does it really matter, you know? That's what I'm thinking about, like because if all this is an illusion, you know, of the self, you know, like why would I put myself in so much struggle, you know, to try to change the world which doesn't really exist, you know? I
Yeah,
kind of
so
feel
that's
like
why right, so just change your own world.
Yeah,
That's, you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah,
That's the answer. Set yourself up to a position to where you can be naked if you would like to be. And don't worry about what
yeah.
everybody else is doing, you know? Let me ask you this, bro. What are you doing in Poland?
Right now, I was like doing my license, but I'm going to Iceland soon. But
You are.
yeah,
For what?
for work.
Well, what are you going to be doing there?
Like hospitality, doing rooms and stuff like this,
When are you going there?
Like at the end of the month. No.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I ask is just because like just for me, I know like getting out of like where I'm from, getting out of like kind of,
Bro, I'm from France. I've traveled all over Europe right now, bro. I've
oh,
been
good.
everywhere, but the thing
Good.
is, I've traveled, but I've been everywhere, like without a license right now during this summer. But the
What
thing
kind of
is, I
license are
was
you talking about?
driver's license.
Oh, driver's license.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was basically traveling without a driver's license, and like just trusting. So God helps me, So- but like the thing is, I realize now that I was like all over Europe in my van. I've traveled all over Europe, right? But I was never really there because I was always in my head trying to like think if I should get naked or if I should do that or stuff like this, or like trying to, I have like I had a lot of like mental problems. Like my mind is like fucking annoying me, bro. Like it's fucking crazy, man. It's like someone is like telling me what to do all the time. Like okay, do this, and like I'm trying not to just disconnect from the desire, But then I have other desires, and how do I know that this desire uh, is right and this one is wrong? You know what I mean? It's like
The answer,
impulsive.
the answers are only in the stillness, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
You can't think your way through the answers.
yeah. Yeah, that's right.
You cannot think your way through it. It's absolutely impossible. You just run around in circles in your head. You really
Yeah.
gotta dedicate yourself to some sort of stillness daily. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you,
I'm
brother.
trying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna send you this breathwork program. Throw it on for 15 minutes a day. It will
Yeah,
change your fucking life.
I was trying to do like Wim Hof, right? But Wim Hof seems to me like instead of getting like more relaxed, I get more tense. It feels like like when I do
Right.
Wim Hof,
I love
and
it.
it's kind
But
of
the one I'm gonna send you is similar, but it's a lot more relaxing. And it's like
yeah,
got really beautiful music with it, and Justin's voice is very calming. So
yeah,
bro, I'm telling you, that'll be the best thing you do. And have you tried microdosing mushrooms?
yeah, man. I've done too much psychedelics, man. Like I've gone too far, bro. I think like because I haven't integrated so much, but I've done like a lot, and with bad
Yeah,
company and stuff, and in the city, like you know, I've kind of abused it, I started off very good, and then I kind of was like, oh yeah, I'm used to this, I can do it everywhere, and I have some work to do, some reparation to do,
got it. Yeah,
I
I think
feel
it's
like
a relationship that can be repaired, by the way,
yeah,
your
yeah,
relationship with the psychedelics. But bro, I
and
think
with
breath
weed
work.
too, with weed too, because I see you're high, no? You have a good relationship with weed. I have like a fucking horrible relationship with weed, man. I used to smoke a lot of weed and I used to get stupid high, and now like when I smoke it's like basically I think like my heart starts pounding very fast, and I start like getting the hearing the ocean, basically psychosis, like hearing the ocean waves talking to me like, do you understand? Do you understand? And I'm like, bro, what the fuck, like what's going on, like I hear people talking to me and stuff, like people can read my mind, and I feel basically very low self-esteem, so
Wow.
so
Well, bro,
uh,
breath work needs to become your new best friend.
yeah,
It's the only answer to everything you're talking about, in my experience.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I get it, man. I think you're right. I mean, breath is spirit. Yeah, it's like it's basically the like you said, it's like the wind, internal wind. Yeah, and it's like the
Yes.
fucking
But you need to find the discipline to fucking make it happen. And I'll give you a tip. First thing in the morning is the best way to do it because your brain is a lot. It can't convince you to not do it. First thing in the
yeah.
morning, you're still kind of in that dreamlike state. Literally throw that audio file on while you're laying in bed
But
and
you
just
don't fall asleep when you're like because I'm a very like normally I'm a very chill person, you know, like I can fall asleep everywhere basically. I was living on the street, bro. I can fall asleep like everywhere, bro. And like it's for me in the first thing in the morning I have to do something like to boost me up like a cold shower or something because if not lost some push-ups, you know,
yeah,
because like
do the cold shower and then do the breath then.
oh
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, whatever works for you. But I mean, I remember back when I first got into it, I used to do that. I would wake up and I would do it first thing in the morning, and I would just breathe my way right back to sleep. But it's a whole different sleep because you're like you've moved so much energy around, you've alchemized so
Yeah,
much,
yeah, yeah.
you know, and so
Yeah.
it's worth
And you
it either
feel in
way, even if you
control, you
do
know.
fall back asleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a question for you too. So, but what about because I know we don't have so much time, you know, but like what about like the mission, you know? Like how do you know what your mission is? And
What's it?
yeah.
It's like the way I've done it is like continually coming back to the silence and and peeling back the layers and what's left behind all of the chatter of the mind, all of the desires. What's left? What do you actually feel?
Yeah.
What matters to you? You know, what matters to you when all of the distractions are gone?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah. But have you
Like
gone
when
so deep? Like you've done like vipassana retreat or something like this? I mean, like I'm talking like soberly, you know, because you know on
I've
mushrooms
been
like
doing this breath work we're talking about, I've been doing
yeah.
deep breath work on a daily basis for 3.5 years.
But how long do you do it?
It could be 10 minutes, it could be an hour.
Ah yeah, so just until you breathe until you're good, right?
Until
Basically.
you breathe until you're different.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a
Literally.
good
Like
quote, yeah.
that needs to be your new intention. Breathe until you're different.
Yeah, 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 bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. And you know about synchronicity,
Yeah, for sure.
and how do you think that works?
Everything's connected.
But so basically, because I've been feeling like very like these synchronicities. It's been a long time, but they seem to be very demanding, you know, and like do this, do that, and I'm like, bro, I don't want to do this, you know, like fuck off, you know, and like you know what I
Give me
mean.
an
So
example. Give me an example.
like basically yesterday like a couple of days ago I was like I was thinking to go out to party, you know, but like I was kind of tired and everything, and I was like, "Bro, I don't want to go with these people and stuff, you know, like they don't really interest me. They're all on drugs and stuff." And basically I just didn't want to go. I once it was telling me like this, let's go, like I hear the TV, okay, let's fucking go, and I was like, okay, I have to go, bro, because like it's everything is telling me to go, you know. And this time it was like, okay, let's go. Okay, I could have gone, but I just don't want to listen to the synchronicities because sometimes I have these like things to tell people some bad stuff about myself, you know, like I don't know if I want to talk about this because I don't want to manifest it too much, you know. But basically, like to say it, you know, like like um, yeah, basically bad things about myself to like things that can hurt my you know. Like I've been
Wow,
hearing a voice that was like that that I'm like a pedophile or something like this, and like say that, you know, for example, you know,
bro.
and and and
That's
and
that's not that's not you, bro.
yeah, I know, but then for example, I'm texting because I'm trying to like do music and stuff like this, and I'm like texting a guy, and I say don't, and I speak French too, and it say D, so it means like say it, you know, and I'm like, what should I say this, and I'm like, who is talking to me, you know, who like, you know what I mean, who is talking to me, like telling me to do these things, you know what I mean, like these synchronicities and stuff like this, you know, it's like kind of, I want to see it
Well,
as a mirror, you know, not as some angels, you know, that tell me what to
right.
do, you know.
Well, listen, like that, like I don't view like the devil, right, as like the Christian perspective, but like evil
Yeah,
is very convincing. And the mind can absolutely play tricks on us. Absolutely, not knowingly, because it is just it gets in a you've been in a loop so long of like entertaining these negative kind of
yeah,
desires floating in your head that now your mind will do anything it can to convince you that yeah, all the signs are pointing, go out with these people, go out, and like your mind
uh-huh.
just starts looking. It's actually called your reticular activating system. It's this part of the brain that just looks for patterns to convince us
Ah,
of
looks
whatever
for
it
signs, yeah,
is. You
yeah,
know? Whew. And I feel you, man. I totally feel you on that. And again, it
yeah,
all just comes back to creating the stillness and getting in touch with your inner self, your inner power, your inner truth. That's
yeah,
that's the next step, man. Like it's just really getting in tune with this voice here, the one that's still small, quiet voice that's left when all the bullshit is gone. Get in touch with that, and you'll be able to navigate through a lot of things, and things will change. Once you start moving from there, then you start getting momentum in the other direction.
yeah.
And instead of the momentum of the negativity, you get into momentum of truth and of love.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because what you resist persists, right? So like I had these thoughts, and like I kind of remember like the first time I had this thought, you know, and I was like, no, 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 I don't want this, you know. And then it starts like
Right.
looping, you know, and it's like the more you concentrate on not having this thought, the more it's like looping, and it starts to even
So
like convince you to that you
yes.
are this, and like
So
it's like
in that
crazy.
moment, bro, in that moment, you come back to the breath.
Yeah, yeah,
As soon as you get the download, no, I don't want to do that.
yeah.
You come back and you ground in that. Like we're not doing
Okay,
it.
but but when you talk, right? When you talk, most of the talk, that's what I find is like, okay, I can be still when I'm like alone, you know. But when you start talking, the mind starts working, and then it's the thoughts starts coming
So you
in, and
don't talk. You just breathe.
yeah,
Like in that moment, you literally sit down and just close your eyes and breathe. And I like to come to an intention. My main one is I am loving awareness,
oh, that's
or
Ram Dass, yeah,
it's the best.
yeah,
It's the
yeah,
best. And now I'm at the point where I can snap into that. I can sit down, breathe right into that, and like be in there. It's just about just doing that, practicing that, because then in these tough moments you'll be able to come back and use the breath to ground you into truth. If you
yeah,
practice doing it like in the morning, you start training that subconscious and reprogramming it to not operate from all in here, but to operate in a more connected way, coming back to what we were talking about in the beginning, the wave, the flow, coming back into a true connection with that.
yeah, yeah. That's
But
good, man.
dude,
That's
I got another call
yeah, yeah,
coming
yeah.
up.
Sure, yeah.
But man, this has been a really fun conversation. Thank you for the very thought-provoking questions. It's been fun.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, man. You really help a lot too, man.
I'm glad, bro. Keep me updated. Shoot me a message. Let me know how you're doing, dude. And
Okay, cool.
oh, please send me your email so I can get you this breathwork program.
Okay, wait, I'll
DM
put
me.
it here. I'll DM you. Yeah,
DM me on
yeah. All right,
Instagram.
yeah. All right, bro. Love you, man.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah,
Love
keep
you
it up,
too.
bro. Yeah,
See
yeah.
ya.
Cheers.